Yes, after 23 years as a babyface and as part of his Goodwill retirement tour, John Cena has turned heel. Welcome to Silo Voice Wrestling on YouTube and the Silo Voice Wrestling podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. From Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications for all my wrestling hot takes, cold takes, simmering takes, assorted thoughts on Raw and SmackDown, WWE Premium Live Event prediction and review videos, and wrestling opinion pieces. Now, I'm recording this. It's just after 3 o'clock Eastern on March the 2nd, Sunday. Now, I am going to do a full Elimination Chamber review with Mike William, who was there at the Rogers Center, and that's coming up. But I thought, given what happened at the end of the show, I had to come on and unpack some of my thoughts on this right now. So yeah, John Cena's turned heel. But before I get into that, I've got to talk about and maybe even apologize to The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and Triple H, Paul Levesque. Now, while I have not been that overtly critical here of the Rock's involvement in the lead up to WrestleMania, I may have made some comments as to how his promo was a little bit odd on SmackDown. I was thinking it. Other people were thinking it, and some people were saying it, that it seems like The Rock was just phoning it in and they didn't really have a plan. Well, they did. Yeah, there was that sort of like babyface corporate exec promo on the Raw debut on Netflix where he put over Cody Rhodes. I'm like, okay, is he breaking character or whatever? And then the one on NXT that he sort of hinted at something, but we didn't really know where it was going. And then his promo on SmackDown, which seemed rambling, seemed nonsensical. It seemed like he's trying to like seduce Cody to the dark side, but he's not being crystal clear about it. Is he just trying to inject himself into WrestleMania? No. They were setting this up. And as The Rock said in the press conference after Elimination Chamber, somebody asked him about when he appeared on Bad Blood. He went 1, 2, 3, and he did the exact same gesture last night at Elimination Chamber. So I don't know how much of the details they'd figured out. I didn't know when they actually knew Cena was going to be involved in this, but they definitely knew where they were going. And even look at somebody pointed this out on the internet. The big spoiler for what happened was the final official Elimination Chamber poster. See, it's got John Cena, The Rock, and Travis Scott, who was seemingly added at the last minute. And then you see the three of them walking down the aisleway after Cena turned heel on Cody. And, you know, I thought it was kind of random that Travis Scott was still there in the ring. But you know what? If Cena's a heel now, he's going to need some heel music. And I don't think people want them to trust that to Def Rebel. Who do you have to do his heel theme? Well, you got Travis Scott. If he's going to be part of it, maybe he even get in the ring in a tag match. We'll put that off to the future, but let's talk about, I guess, Cena's involvement in this. Honestly, we didn't really see the signs. I mean, we saw them, but we didn't think they were signs. Go back to after the Royal Rumble. I mean, he enters the Royal Rumble as a total babyface, thinking I could win, maybe getting a bit more serious. But then, you know, Jey Uso eliminates him. He's a little bit shocked, but he still does the babyface handshake, hug, puts Jey Uso over. But then at the press conference, he doesn't take any questions. He just says, I'm in the Elimination Chamber. Now, there is a perfectly legit babyface way for him to just be put into the Elimination Chamber. He's John Cena. Triple H or someone could come out and say, you know what? He was the runner-up in the Royal Rumble. He's John Cena on his retirement tour. He's automatically in the chamber. Cena could grudgingly accept, and no one would think that's at all heelish. But the fact that he just said, no, I'm in the chamber. Yeah, he's entitled to it, even storyline-wise, but it is kind of a heel move to just put yourself into the chamber. It's not like hustle, loyalty, respect, you know? But he was still playing the babyface. And then, he seemed a little, and also at the end of the match, at the end of the Elimination Chamber match, Seth Rollins sneak attacked CM Punk, and instead of doing the typical babyface response, which is like still winning, but, you know, grudgingly, like, should I really do it like this? Maybe give him a chance to recover and then win. No, he rushed right in, took advantage of that like a real heel, and didn't cheat, but he ended up beating CM Punk because of Seth Rollins' interference. More on Punk later. And then we got that segment, which, I mean, if you haven't seen the segment, why are you even watching this? Go watch the segment or read the script. I'll just go through it very briefly. Cena wins the chamber. Cody comes down. Handshake, hug, big thing, like pointing at the WrestleMania sign. Rock comes in with Travis Scott for some reason. And gives Cody his proposal, and Cody actually tells The Rock to go F himself, which I wasn't I expected there might be swearing in the promo with The Rock. I didn't think it would come from Cody, but that was a massive crowd pop. And then there's some tension. And then I'm like, oh, what's going to happen here? But eventually, Cena gives him the hug, and I'm like, oh, wait a second. Close up on Cena's face, looking heelish for the first time. Like that's he's an actor now. That's some good acting right there. And The Rock doing the gesture, and then the low blow, and then it got really brutal. They got the weight belt out. Travis Scott even got in on some of the beatdown. I still find his involvement in this moment in history kind of odd, but you know what? It's like one of the biggest stars in music and two of the biggest wrestling stars in Hollywood. They're all going after Cody. It was bloody, brutal, and really well done. Now, when I was thinking about what could happen with the Elimination Chamber and the whole Rock involvement, I was like, okay, maybe, Cody will turn heel and he'll fight CM Punk, or maybe, Punk might turn heel, or maybe John Cena might be the good guy, the redeemer. Maybe Cena will turn heel. I just thought that in my head, but without realizing what it meant. When I actually saw it happen, like, this is something they refused to turn Cena heel throughout most. We'll say he was a heel at the beginning, but then since he turned babyface, he was the top merch seller. He was, the Make-A-Wish guy. There was, even though half the crowd was booing him, they got to keep him babyface. They got to keep him that. And eventually, finally, they're turning him heel, but this gives so much weight to the main event of WrestleMania. When I thought first, okay, maybe it's going to be, I was hoping it was going to be CM Punk, because I thought it was going to be Cena. It was just going to be like, a passing the torch moment, which they could have done, later, like at SummerSlam, or at like maybe even Survivor Series, Cena eventually winning the title at SummerSlam, giving it up at Survivor Series, that kind of thing. But Cody and Cena at Mania just seemed like, babyface versus babyface. Maybe there'll be some involvement from The Rock, but there's no real story. There's no real heat there. It's just a passing the torch moment, which is still a good main event. But now that we have this vicious heel John Cena versus the, I guess now, uber babyface Cody Rhodes, this match now has heat. I'm now very excited for Cody Rhodes versus John Cena at WrestleMania. I'm not even sure Cody's going to retain. Cena might win his record-breaking championship, and he's going to do so as a heel. Like, wow, where did that come from? This is probably one of the best heel turns, or definitely the most unexpected, but probably the best heel turn I've seen in my time watching. And people are comparing it to, I think it's a fair comparison to Hulk Hogan being the third man in WCW, joining the NWO. In fact, we have the three of them, Hogan, Nash, and Hall. We have Cena, Rock, and Travis Scott, which is, again, it's still kind of funny that he's part of this point in wrestling history, but good. They did this very well. I'm going to be back with my with Mike William, with my prediction, with my review of Elimination Chamber, because there's a lot that happened, but I just wanted to get out there today to say that, wow, I did not see this coming in the way it came. Apologies for not trusting the booking. This was a truly excellent piece of wrestling storytelling. Follow at Silo Voice Wrestling on Facebook and Instagram, at Silo Wrestling on X, and me at Jason C. McLean on X and Instagram. What did you think of the Cena heel turn? Did you see it coming? I have to admit, even though I didn't see it coming most of this time, I did see it coming 2 seconds before it happened, when Cena gave that look. But anyways, let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. I'll be back with mine and Mike Williams' review of Elimination Chamber proper, the whole thing, including this segment. For Silo Voice Studios in Montreal, I'm Jason C. McLean.